But what the point is, use his experience, strength, and hope.
Right.
Hey, motherfuckers, get in here, hit it fast.
Right. And I thought that Lauren that you spoke to this morning, that's what I told him.
That's what he said.
Friday night.
Because he goes, I thought I was just, because my sponsor's down in Salinas and I'm up here for a while. I was going to kind of work this out. And he goes, I talked to Larry. He shared this to me. And I goes, and I was looking right at him. And I talked to Larry yesterday. And Larry said, no, fuck that. Get it going while it's fresh.
Right.
While the pain is.
And that's what I was telling him. I go, that guy will sponsor you. That guy will sponsor you. That guy will sponsor. This guy will not sponsor you. That guy will sponsor you. I don't fucking sponsor because I'm a self-centered son of a bitch. Don't ask me to fucking sponsor. I'm fucking horrible. I'm selfish and I haven't gotten rid of that one yet. You ready to go?
Ready.
You sit on the toilet, don't you?
Nope.
Use that as your meditation.
Not my wife, not your wife. I hover over it. This podcast is drop bombs.
Welcome to Recovery Unfiltered. I'm Larry. I'm an alcoholic.
I am Rob. I am also an alcoholic. We are not professionals. There are no letters after our names. We know very little. However, you will hear the word God and the four-letter word. You will also be a this podcast is not for you.
Our opinions are just that. That's the helicopter bringing our guests back in.
Okay. It sounds like a lawnmower at first. So sit back, grab a beverage of your choice, and get ready. Just non-alcoholic.
Let's go. My wife hates me using those noises.
Oh, I bet she does.
The one she hates the worst. Hold on a second.
The baby.
Yeah, she hates this one. That's my favorite one, too.
I love that.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I am going to tell you, I am meeting this afternoon with a guy that helped me get this podcast started from the very beginning. He's now got a band called Harbor Drive, and I'm working with him to write us a new jingle and do the whole intro for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that. I'm meeting him this afternoon.
We still got to meet with those other two cats that got a podcast.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying we got to, but
if we do, we do. I do want to put it together. The whole thing was the Zoom thing. We couldn't get it working, and I figured it out now. So, I mean, yeah, I need to get back in contact with them. I got a few things still going on with work. I have to here and there. I got to get a schedule. I mean, you and I are recording again back to back, which it's not a fun thing to do. It's easier if we only do one at a time, but we're recording back to back because I'm gone so much, right? I'm leaving again.
Get some ahead in the pocket, and then we can actually take a week or so off.
Right. So what?
I didn't say it. I almost said mother.
I only said it one time in the last episode.
My sister's like, you guys quit fighting. I just say the word. No, we're going to get better.
You know what? It's not bad to say it occasionally.
Yeah, wait. We're supposed to be better than that.
Punctuate a sentence or punctuate something.
Emphasize something.
But go back and listen to our last two episodes, and it was horrible.
It's hard to listen to myself.
It was bad.
All right, so here we go. So we got Nathan back.
Hi, Nathan.
Back.
Hold on a second.
Hey, Larry.
Welcome back, Nathan. Thanks for telling your story. I enjoy the stories. I really, really do, because it just, like I said, we were talking before we started recording is, we're all alcoholics. It doesn't matter what direction we get there, right? When we start looking at the differences and start looking at the similarities, we're all alcoholics. And, you look at the group of guys, Nathan's a part of our group on Monday nights, and there's a group of guys in there that, on the outside, we probably would have never hung out, but I love each and every one of you guys dearly with every ounce of my heart, and I'd bleed for everybody in that thing, and it's just because of the wreckage that we've been through, right? And it was good to hear your story. I appreciate it. I'm glad you opened up. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we're going to dig in a little bit more about, because you waited how many years before you actually did your steps?
It was almost 6 years.
Okay.
A few months before I got 6 years.
Wow. So we're going to dig into that a little bit and talk about, your regrets, I guess, as a word to say it.
Because I always ask him, and then the way God works, and here, this is why you wonder why we weren't recording, because we were bullshitting right before we started this one. Why aren't we recording this? Because you're an idiot and you didn't press the
You're the one with the buttons, dumbass.
But what I wanted to get into, because every time he shares that, and when he went and shared at the lakes, I got to be a part of. And whenever we talk, and say the Big Book Study Thursday, and he's there, and I always ask him, okay, Nathan, what is the difference now? But having had worked the steps, you had 5 years of drier. So we had with periods of happiness and in there, and he was actually a dad again.
Right.
But the difference.
Right.
And then when he told God, his story that I'm done with service. And God says, no, you're not, because now I get to open, because of what you did, Nathan.
Right.
God's in this. I'm speaking on behalf of God, but not for God. Obviously,
Right.
I can't speak for God, but I see it of all the years I've been sober. With the next, in our book on page 164, it says, our book is meant to be suggestive only. We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask him in your morning meditation what you can do each day for the man who is still sick. The answers will come if your own house is in order. And here's the key. But obviously, you cannot transmit something you haven't got. You can't transmit a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. You can't even speak about it because you don't have it until you get that. So Nathan was able to share through his service, through the chairing the meeting for a year and a half, the Friday night meeting, and being that part, the fellowship that Bill talks about on page 17. He tells you about the two powers. Being wrecked in the same vessel, right? The alcoholism. But that would not have joined us as we are joined now, the common solution.
Right.
Spiritual awakening as a result of these steps.
Right.
So when he said, I'm stepping away, would God say, no. Now I've opened up. Now that you've taken action, Nathan, you've opened up this other door. You've had a spiritual way. You have a different relationship with me by this action you've taken. Now I'm going to go share that because his story is so unique. I'm going to go share that. Nathan, I want you to go share that. Be obedient. And he does. And there's that growth, that gift that comes to us, that spiritual growth that comes through doing that. But Nathan opened up another door. And yes, it took him 5 years to get there. Most people don't make it. I would have never made it 5 years.
I don't know if I would
just on that first power of the fellowship. I'd have been dead.
Yeah.
But he was able to. But yet it took him, because he's an alcoholic of our type, and therefore it took him finally to that point again. Because even in the rooms, he just said, I was at an emotional brokenness again, just to a point, right? Either go get drunk or go do these.
Right. That's what we
talked
talked about.
So my question to Nathan is, and Brad had said the same thing because he was 3 years sober, or almost 3 years before he decided Escalon, say that same Escalon meeting.
Right.
A guy behind him said, I need a sponsor. And I looked at Brad. Because Brandon was across the room and I knew I was getting him that night, which we did. And so Brad had to do take another man through his, because you can't transmit what you don't have. Right. What a gift. But Brad said, man, I wish when I came in, I'd have done this
right here
while it was fresh. Do you wish and I know Nathan does too, but I want you to share 5 years of what you gleaned and how you would do it now, and what do you recommend if someone's going to hear this? That guy has lived my life, and yet I'm not, because most people that lived his life are not in the free world. They're locked up. Right. But here's Nathan sober, kicking ass. Talk to me.
Yeah, there were definitely time periods during that 5 years, 5+ years, where I struggled big time emotionally, spiritually, mentally, which I didn't have to. It didn't have to be that way.
Say that again, Nathan.
Amen.
You didn't what?
I didn't have to.
Thank you.
I struggled.
That's a powerful word right there.
Yeah, I've struggled with depression and anxiety and all of that through life. And I still get little cases of depression. Mm-hmm. It's more so I identify it as self-pity today.
Yes, sir.
And anxiety pretty much isn't there. It's just non-existent anymore. And when I do have anxiety, we've talked about this, it's fear.
Yeah.
Can I ask you just on that? Because I actually just talked about this the other day. I don't look at that as anxiety as much as I look at it as anxiousness. Would you?
Well, anxious.
Just anxious about something. Well, I don't know, because anxiety to me,
you're thinking of a panic attack as opposed to
because my anxiety, maybe you had it before I got into this program, my anxiety was up to my throat and just my head was wanting to explode and my heart was coming out of my chest.
That's like a panic attack. I got you.
That's what I was drinking, was trying to get that to down.
Anxiety attacks could make you literally feel like you're going to die.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So you still have those?
No.
Okay. All right.
I do not have any anxiety attacks whatsoever anymore.
Gotcha. Neither do I.
When I was younger, I took.
But when you start feeling a little bit, you're talking about fear.
Right.
Yeah, the little bit that I do feel, I can identify as fear today.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, I did not do what was suggested when coming into AA, right? I thought I can do it without it. And there's a couple members in the Oakdale room that have done it, had long-term sobriety without doing the steps. And so I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Like it just made me go that route, I guess.
Do they have joy? They have joy in their sobriety?
You know, one of them does, but
Okay.
he has went through the steps himself.
Okay.
And like we've talked about how John did that while he was in
It was
jail and stuff,
yeah,
right?
just like the book suggests.
And just like the book says, but it's better to go through the steps with someone that's guiding you through the steps, I believe.
It's always better to go through anything with a friend,
Right.
with somebody you care for, somebody you love.
And someone's been that path, someone's
Right.
walked the path. So
Right. And I think Pat like hit the nail right on the head in one of those Monday groups that we were in when he said that window of opportunity, that window of willingness.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you come in and you're first getting sober, you have all this pain, and pain is a great motivator.
Yep.
And that window is wide open. Your willingness to do what it takes is a lot more than you know. You get the job back. You get to see the kids again. You get a vehicle. You get, you know, life starts
gets
becoming good.
Yep.
And that window gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it's damn near shut. And it took pain for me for that window to open up again, and to finally to do the steps. And so yeah, I suggest to get in right away and do it while that window is still open, because life's gonna get better. When you quit drinking, even if you don't work on yourself,
life gets better.
life gets better.
Right.
You stop putting
take the
poison in your
alcohol.
body.
Right.
It gets better.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely suggested to do them right away and to get through them.
I got a guy at the wrestling tournament yesterday. A friend of mine coached him in high school football. He was one of my players. He came up to me and goes, "Hey, coach, I was thinking about you the other day." He goes, "You know, I haven't had wine and I haven't drank in 11 weeks. And I was thinking about you." I go, "What were you thinking about me for?" "Because you stopped drinking." I go, "Okay, how you feeling?" He goes, "I've never felt better in my life." He goes, "I'll probably drink again," but he goes, I just haven't drank in 11 weeks. And I just wanted to tell you that. And I'm like, "Well, appreciate that."
Yeah.
And I go, "You're probably what they call a normie."
Yeah.
You're probably a normie.
But you know,
Right.
You know, that's something else that just brought up thought, is that reservations, right? Having that reservation to drink again. This time around, when I got sober, that reservation to drink again was gone.
Obsession. Yeah.
No.
The out he was giving himself, the reservation, you know, like Brian, like our buddy Brian
Oh, yeah,
was.
yeah.
I'm gonna, you know,
Right.
I'm not sure I'm one of these, you know, they have
Yeah,
that.
I got you. Okay. All right.
Or like, say, you know, I could have, when I first got sober, when my mom dies, I'm gonna drink.
Right. Okay.
When
Right.
planning to drink in
Planning.
the future,
Yeah.
when something bad happens, or when something
Right.
good happens, or just,
Yeah.
you know,
Reservation.
us alcoholics could come up with any excuse in the
Right.
book to drink.
Yep.
Which yeah, once I completely gave up that reservation to drink and knew that it's not what I wanted anymore. It's and the obsession was lifted.
Right.
You know, I believe the obsession to drink was lifted before doing the steps for me.
They were for me. It was for me, but I still had to. I mean, when I was on, everybody knows my story. Well, they don't know it. When I was on my ass on the floor, and Tammy came up to me and I'm crying. She's like, "Baby, what's wrong?" I said, "I'm an alcoholic." She says, "I know. What do you want to do about it?" Right then. And I didn't know it was right then until like a few weeks later when I was in Maynard's. Like, holy shit! Oh, that's right then. It left me. I still had to do the steps, you know, for the isms.
I didn't realize that obsession was left until I was in the rooms for a little bit, and somebody said that my obsession to drinking was gone, and I had to start thinking about it. And I literally remember when I felt it leave me.
I was with Chris and we were doing our,
Right.
you know, the book work in Maynard's.
Right.
And I was like, you know, because everything happened so fast. So I was like, when did that? Oh,
Yeah.
because that's for me, that was, I was talking to myself, you know, talk yourself into that next drink, gone.
That
But I still had to do the steps.
Yeah, I like I said, I remember when that obsession left and the willingness went into overdrive. right? I mean, because till that point, I was trying to still figure out a way to get out of rehab, and I was still trying to convince, right? And I was trying to convince them people how to run the program. Well, yeah. And I was trying to tell everybody what to do
as Larry sees
it, right? I was still doing that until that moment. That obsession left, and that willingness to do whatever it took to get more of that peace and that serenity in my life. At that point, I didn't give a shit about drinking anymore. It was not, I wanted more of that peace in my life.
Because you found its replacement.
Oh yeah.
And it comes from God, and it's real.
That depression,
and it's lasting.
When I saw that little bit of sliver of light come in, and I'm like, and I realized the deep, dark depression that I was sitting in and the darkness that I was in, I'm like, I want that. Whatever that was I just saw, I wanted that. And I did everything I get to get
and
to
that. Get that, this was a beautiful thing. Like in church today, Steve was talking about, the pastor, about everybody's got a mission. Or God has a ministry for you.
Right.
You know, but what normal people think is what? Fuck, I don't want to go to Africa and be a missionary. That's probably not it, motherfucker. But if that was what God had planned for you,
right,
he will put something on your heart that's all you will want.
Right.
But And I talked to him afterwards. So I was talking to Brian. Me and Brian were working on a few things, and I said, hey, I appreciate the fact, because he told me, listen, God has a ministry for you, but it wouldn't be a shame for you to get there, you know, because it doesn't mean you're not going to heaven because you are in Christ. You know, if you're a Christian anyway, you know, this is the Christian ease. Mm. He said, but it's yours. Wouldn't it be a shame to stand before God? And he says, well, this is what I had for you, but you chose, you know, the easier, softer way, more or less. You're still here. You're still mine with me, but man, look what I had for you to look at the lives, you know, you could have touched, which AA is all about action. And if if you're listening to this, you hear Nathan's story, you realize if you want to get from where he was, which was, you know, the childhood and to where he's at now, which is amazing relationship with God and his children and the mother of his children. I mean, it takes action. Yeah. This book, because you do the third step. I mean, if you think about it, you do the third step prayer. What is it? Yep. I offer myself to you today to build with me as you will. I mean, how many times have we prayed to God? If God doesn't answer, you know why? Because what do we do next? Because this is how it works. You do the prayer, then you show God how serious you are. Okay, I'm so serious about that. I'm gonna go write a fearless moral inventory, and I'm gonna go with another man, and I'm gonna share this pain. I'm gonna share this truth. I'm gonna share this.
Do whatever I got to do.
And then God says, okay, that prayer is actualized because you did the work. Then we do what? 6 and 7. And at the end of the 7th step, God, I give you everything, all of me, the good and the bad.
Right.
And this is how serious I am, Lord. Here, I'm going to go do step 8. I'm going to make a list of people I had hurt. And then I'm going to take the action to go do the best I can to make amends. And God, and then that prayer, which we call the 9th step promises, that prayer becomes actualized. Right. But no prayer in your life, people, will become actualized if you don't put the fucking work behind it. There's the F word. Sorry.
Right.
It takes action. That's why we have.
But everything in our lives, if you want something, takes action. If you want it, it takes action.
But people's faith in God diminishes because
they think they're going to get it like He made water into wine. It doesn't happen that way. They hit their knees and
they think if they're so earnest in their prayers that He's going to. No, get up and go to work.
Go do it.
God will hit a moving target. He prefers to do so. Am I correct, Nathan?
Yeah, I believe that. That. What you read, we're talking about after that third step prayer, that's something that really hit with me right after we did that third step prayer and we talked about the third step, and you had said that by truly doing the third step is doing steps 4 through 12. Basically,
how you accomplish. In
other words,
how you turn your will and your life over to the care of God.
Mm-hmm. That's how you do it.
Yeah, you do the next. You do the 4 through 12. You do the next 9 steps.
Yeah, and
you did.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, you had talked about the relationship with the kids and their mother. Just the other day when we were on the phone, she was telling me. She cannot believe that I am the more patient parent with the children, and that I'm just always calm and have all these things that I never had before. I was always so angry that it was uncontrollable, really. Mm-hmm. and Larry talked about the serenity. Like serenity is huge in my life today. Like that's that overwhelming calmness that I have.
That God does for us. God's doing for us.
It's serenity.
We couldn't do for ourselves.
And I never
Say
really
that again.
knew what serenity
Say that again,
was.
Nathan.
That overwhelming calmness that I have is serenity.
I think we talked about that in here. We couldn't really say a definition of serenity. We've talked about that on the podcast.
Overwhelming calm. I like that.
I do too.
There we go.
We actually we asked for a definition that, what does serenity mean to you? We talked about that, and you just nailed it right there. What you just said, I hadn't heard it said that way before.
I'm gonna put that down in my big. I got notes in my big book when they're good, so I'll write that down. So that's always overwhelming calmness. That is good.
Yeah, and that's something that I have. I haven't been in a fight in 5.5 years, and that's almost as big of an accomplishment to me as not drinking. Right? Like.
Do you ever miss it? Not the fighting of anger, but I know for my son-in-law, that's a dopamine thing for him. He needs the rolling, the that. Do you ever think about going back and getting involved?
He's gonna.
Okay.
I guess Friday, Mondays,
right.
Not me. I'm sorry. Wednesdays I'm doing it, and Fridays I'm doing. And Jason's come with me, and we've talked about that, going to watch Logan compete. Right. Because he's still TH. He could get.
Oh my God! You're still very healthy. Yeah, I mean it's
awesome.
Yeah,
but I want to talk to me about another thing we're going to get off the.
I know.
Thing. No, it's good though, because look what we get to do in sobriety. Look what we get to do.
Right. There's certain things I get
I'm
to do.
52 years old with a titanium hip, and I'm back on the mat.
It's plastic.
It might be because the motherfucker didn't go off yesterday, and the ladies at the metal detector, people that want the one. Because I said I put all my stuff on there.
Right.
I go, I still have a metal hip, so if it, and I walk through, and the first thing she says, "Baby, that's plastic." Because it didn't go off.
They took it out of a toy doll.
They might have. But I want you to tell me about the last few Christmases that you've got to. Where did you sleep? Where did you spend them? And how did you get to wake up because of the program of Alcoholics Anonymous and God?
Oh yeah, that's a huge.
Although we're not associated with Alcoholics Anonymous. Sorry, go ahead.
I am.
Blessing that I got from Alcoholics Anonymous is I got to spend Christmas with my children. The last 3 Christmases, I spent the night at their house on their couch, and got to wake up Christmas morning and watch my little girls.
That just gave me chills.
Open up presents. Like,
I love that.
If you would have asked me or their mom if that was going to happen in the future, 5-6 years ago, like no chance in hell would that have happened. And it's all from having, like what Rob had talked about, those 2 powers,
right.
The power of the fellowship and the power of God. And being able to be accepting and loving and caring and having humility and serenity and peace and being able to have those type of relationships with them. And I talk with the kids' mom for an hour, 2 hours at a time, sometimes on the phone, and we're not together. We're not, Is
there anything still there between the 2 of you? Or maybe you don't want to talk about that.
Say it.
Well, I would be open to getting back with her. I still love her. I always will love her.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm the one that made the mistakes. But if that's not God's will,
right?
And then I'm okay with it.
And you know what, Nathan, that goes back to that serenity thing. And I say this, it says it in our
overwhelming
Bible.
calmness.
Well, yes, but we ceased fighting, right? Not only does that mean in our alcohol and that, to me, I cease fighting with anything that I can't control, right? That was the biggest and hardest thing for me. And that's where the peace and serenity came into my life, is when I ceased fighting, when I ceased trying to tell you how to run your life, or I ceased trying to control what your thought is or how you process or how you treat me. And, I don't give a shit about that anymore. My wife gets very upset with me when she tries to get me upset over something my daughter did or this person. I'm like, it's not a big deal, honey. You're going to be okay. I mean,
why aren't you as upset as me about this?
Yeah, she gets mad and she's like, I don't understand why this does. I mean, and she'll say, why did that piss you off? I'm like, if something happens to me, I'm like, I don't know why it don't piss me off, because there's nothing I can do about it. That's the way they feel. That's the way they think.
It's not worth my serenity.
It's not. It's not
worth my peace.
It's not, right? And we ceased fighting. That's the part, for me, it was never about the alcohol, right? The alcohol I used to help suppress that anger and that anxiety and that flame that was inside of me. I wasn't a physical person like you. I was a mentally verbal abusive person, right? I would tear you down in a matter of a moment, right? It was easy for me, and I didn't give a shit, right? I would just go on about my day, and that's how I handled that part of it. But I got to a point where I didn't like that about me. I didn't. And that's when my drinking really got even harder, because I was trying to suppress that all the time. But when I say I ceased fighting, I stopped that, right? When Chris turned those chairs around and he said I wasn't in control of those, and I realized, holy shit.
He's right.
He's right. I'm not. And that's when I saw that little glimmer of hope, but I don't even know where I went down this rabbit hole, but that's when I ceased fighting. But that's when you say, where you're at now, you cease fighting and you're in more of a peaceful place in your life.
In his relationship, possibly with his, because he's letting God, whatever God wants, is what I want for my life. And because,
it's like that in every situation, really. There's serenity prayer.
Right.
When the closer you can get to that,
is really what it's all about.
100%, Nathan. Yeah. It's such a simple prayer, but so powerful, right?
Yeah.
It's just so powerful.
Like I was grinding for we talked about the Monday night meeting, because I was grinding for 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks when Bonnie left, because I had, things, because when she went to take care of Tammy, I had other things that got thrown on my plate. And I said, hey, I got this. And that's exactly what I said in my mind. I got this. I didn't ask God to come help. I said, I got this. And then for 2 weeks, I was doing great. I did. And I wasn't, but mentally and spiritually, and everybody could see it. What's wrong, Rob? Nothing's wrong. What are you doing?
Right.
And I didn't realize it. And I went to a men's retreat, where I should have been having fun. I loved it. And Bonnie goes, how was it? And it didn't hit me until watching Brandon on Sunday get baptized. And then God hit me, and I was like, I left him.
Right.
I didn't pray in the morning, because I'd get up in the morning. I was telling Nathan on the way out, I didn't do my normal, a little bit of reading, a little 24-hour, and then to tell God. I was just up. Okay, not only do I got to do the shit I want to do, I got to work, and then then there's these other things that I got this.
Right.
And then watching Brandon get baptized and the emotions, and God says, and I was like, thanking him. He's like, well, where have I been? Like, fuck. I left you on the corner of 32nd and Vine when I said I got this.
Right.
Would you please come back?
Right.
Like I went back to the corner of the street. Please come back. Would you please go with me today? And I started doing what I used to do.
Right.
And it happens to all of us, but everybody can see it. Brandon goes, I can see on your face, you look just like me. When I showed up at the men's retreat, and I didn't have a good time because I took myself with me.
Yeah. That's a good point. I took myself with me.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're so attached to ourselves that we do forget to leave us behind. Somebody will ask me, I said,
I forget to bring God. Like I forgot to bring God with me. I got this.
You don't want my thoughts. I guarantee you my thoughts will get you in trouble. You don't want my opinion, because my opinion is mine. Use your own fucking opinion.
And this last week has been an amazing week. Right. Not because everything went well, because it sure as fuck didn't. But God was with me.
Right.
And it's in perspective.
Right.
Everything is back in perspective.
Right.
His perspective, like Nathan just said beautifully. If it's God's will,
right,
and he wants it, that's what I want.
Right.
And then doors will open.
Yep.
Well, that's one of the biggest blessings that has happened is my perspective change. That's my perspective on everything is completely different. It's not so much that everyone else changed and everything else changed. It's that I changed.
Yeah.
And the way I look at things changed.
Outlook on life will change.
God bless me. No, bless them and change me.
Bless them and change me.
Yeah.
But that's what you're right. My perspective changed. I didn't. And that's just like page 5. You're talking about page 552.
I was just going to say, Nathan wanted to bring that up.
Well, when we do that, when we pray for those people or whatever part, because I got that whole page highlighted, my favorite page. It's not those people don't change. Those prayers and God change us and our views. So to talk about what you talk about at 552.
Yeah. So we were reading that story in the back of the book a few weeks back, and I heard it and I knew that there's ones that the resentment is still there.
For
My father, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when I got home that night, I realized that I don't ever pray for my dad. I pray for my brothers and sisters and my kids and their mom and people in the fellowship, and stuff like that. But I don't ever pray for my dad. And so that night I prayed for my dad. The way that I looked at it was there was like, oh, there's no hope for him. He's hopeless. But I prayed for him that night, and he called me the next day.
The next day.
Yeah, it didn't take 2 weeks, like the book says. The very next day he calls me and he's told me that he's clean and that he wants to go to a meeting. And I said, I'll take you to a meeting, and I took him to a meeting for a couple days and then he hasn't came back since then, but to me that was God's way of showing me that he's there.
The God's there.
Yes, the God's there.
Absolutely.
Nobody is hopeless.
And I think that was the point he wanted to get across to you. With God involved, nothing's hopeless.
Right.
And it also had you reach out. It helped you to overcome, pray for them. Those that we think are the most helpless, because that's what God wants. That's because that's who we were. We were hopeless and helpless. We thought,
right.
we were the, and look what God did to us. Look what God's done for us.
Right.
When we got out of the way, admitted our faults, and did the fucking step work. There's the F word again. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and I've pointed out page 552 to numerous other people in the past, but I never have really used it myself.
It hit you a little differently, didn't it?
Well,
it hit a little differently.
This is going to be good for you, but I'm not going to take my advice. I suffer myself. That
Right.
way.
But there's sometimes where you read it and you go over
Well, it hits you different. You're right.
Yes, it hits you differently because I feel like it's your emotional state at the time that you're reading it. There's so many things. Rule 62 in one of the stories, and I wish I could go back to it. Rule 62. I'd read it multiple times until it hit Chris from up here in Waterford. He had it tattooed on the back of his arm, a hand, and I'm like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Rule 62." And I'm like, "Wow, stop taking yourself so fucking serious, right?" And it changed a lot for me. It changed a lot for me when
it goes in with what I read. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us. Ask, if your house is clean. As we grow spiritually, it's like the Bible. People say it about the Bible too. But as you read the big book, fuck, I never even saw it that way before.
Right.
As we become more spiritually fit,
right.
Or I shouldn't say, I mean, you can be spiritually. He's as spiritually fit as anybody 30,
Right.
40, 60 years sober because
Right.
he did the work. He's had that. But as we become more spiritually mature,
Right.
the spirit inside of us and God, okay, now you're ready for this.
A little bit more.
Here's the same sentence, but
Right.
now you're going to see it. It's got a little bit depth. Now you're going to read in between the black letters.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
I'll hear Jason R say some stuff sometimes, and I'm like, where did he get that from? And I'll go back and read the same thing he just described and just spoke about, and I don't see what he's saying.
Not
Right.
yet, but you will.
But I'll say something that somebody didn't see that they've read multiple times. Once again, it's where you're emotionally at the time
And spiritual maturity.
if you're going to accept what you're reading, right? Are you open? Are you accepting it? Am I in a position to where I need to hear that now?
Okay, there you said it.
I wish I'd have had a video on you right there.
No, but are you open? Okay, so we're going to tie into what he just said. Are you open?
Open,
Because
absolutely.
I've been sober almost 14 years, right? Where we're sitting at this table. And for 2 weeks, I was grinding. If I had just said what Nathan did, God, whatever, thy will, not mine be done. When you do that,
Yep.
he'll open the door. Because I've heard so many people, they're struggling with something.
If you truly give it,
If you truly
Truly
but that's
give it.
If you really
you're
mean
sitting
it,
there with your teeth grinding and go, God, just take it from me. He ain't going to take shit from you.
because you're not ready. You're
Right.
not open yet for it.
And
If you-
I think it goes with that saying, I get to do this,
Right.
not I have to do
Right.
this. And starting to make training our brains.
Words matter.
To,
Right.
Yeah.
To help change
Right.
our perspective.
Right.
Like I worked this weekend, and when I almost wrote when I was texting somebody, I have to work tomorrow, and then I caught myself.
That's funny.
Right as
Right.
I'm writing it, and wrote, I get to work tomorrow.
Right.
Like,
But it's those little things. I mean, I love that.
Right.
That's because that matters. That's growth. That's
And you know, it's funny when you hear people talk, I have to go to do this. I have to go do that. You hear it now.
yes,
Right. And you want to correct them, but there's so many, and
But they're
sometimes
not
I
one of
will.
us.
No. There's sometimes I will. Like, hey, you get to do that. Oh yeah. I get, you're right. It is. I mean, I'll never forget the first time Rob said it to me. I was coming home. I was probably maybe 4 or 5 months sober. And I was like, I have to go do this. It was something for my dad. I said, I got to go do this for my dad. And he says, no, Larry, you get to go do that for your dad. And I'm like, yeah. And he kind of hit me right then. He's absolutely right. I get to go do this. It's something I didn't want to do, but I had the ability to go do it. And my dad was still around to go do it with.
right. I think the way I prefaced it first, I said, what a blessing, Larry. You get to go.
Right.
You have service to your dad. And you're like,
Yeah, you prick.
but which would normally be your response, but you didn't say that. You said,
You're right.
you're right.
I do.
You're right.
It literally was.
And I probably said shit like that to him
multiple times.
It's just
Right.
didn't, you know,
At
it's one of
that
those
point.
fucking things.
Right. Anyways, so I want to wrap this back around to what we originally started talking about, and that is waiting the
Step
6
work.
years, the step work, waiting that period
It's
in time,
dangerous.
dangerous, right? I don't know. There's no way I could have done it. There's no way.
No, I couldn't have either.
I don't know, and I'm going to ask this, Nathan, and you can answer it or not answer it. I don't care. What was getting you through that? What tools were you using? Because you
Service for one. We know service.
right, but that wasn't until about 1.5 years before you did their step work, right?
Right.
right.
But you still had 4 years there that you just were grinding. What was keeping you sober? What was keeping you from the drunk? Because you even said that your reservation didn't leave until you started doing those things. The step works, right?
No, my reservation was gone as soon as I got sober.
Okay.
I did not have
Okay.
that.
Right before his mother died.
Right,
That's when he had
right.
the last
That's right.
reservation. But
That's right.
He would go through periods of a lot of meetings, then no meetings. A lot of meetings
Right.
and no meetings. But it had to be the power of the fellowship, kind of, because you just...
That was just keeping you sober.
It was the power of the fellowship. It was not having that reservation to drink, not having the obsession.
Do you remember any happiness during that period of time?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, you do? Okay.
There was lots of happiness during that time period, but I do remember struggling to feel joy and happiness.
All right.
And moments that I
That's a
was
good
in
point.
back then, I remember thinking to myself, I should be happy right now. I should
Right.
be feeling happy
Right.
feelings
Yeah.
right now. And it just wasn't happening. I thought, I more so just blamed it on, it was probably the alcohol and the drugs.
Right.
And I'm not producing those endorphins.
Right.
And stuff, right? But I don't think
Look at the shit we tell ourselves.
I don't think it was that, right? I think it was more so I wasn't okay. I wasn't at peace inside.
Mm-hmm.
That I still had that spiritual malady.
Right.
I wasn't
Lovely
seeking
word.
God.
Right.
Right. God was there. but I wasn't seeking Him.
Mm-hmm. I find myself on that rant still to this day. Only I want to be very careful how I say it. Because I live such a busy life, I'm no different than anybody else, huh?
Full life.
Full. I'm gone all the time, right? And my balance is screwy. Katie and I were just talking about this yesterday, right? My balance is, I haven't found it again in a while. And I think I even preferenced the other night when I was speaking that my balance is really off right now. If it wasn't for this podcast, I'd be really podcast and Monday night.
Because that's a stability. That's
right. I mean, the podcast is something, now we have to do it every 2 weeks, right? I have to. When I know that there's not one in there, it has to be done. And I don't like the thought of saying that it has to be done, because this is a gift, right? It's a gift that Rob and I get to do, right? It's a gift to have you in here to tell your story. It's a gift. Everything we do in this podcast is a gift.
Because we'd be dead if we hadn't got sober.
Right. So all of this, to be able to share this, is a gift. But when I'm gone for a couple weeks at a time and I don't have the Monday night group, the Saturday morning groups, I don't have those groups. What you just spoke about, that little bit of unhappiness and uneasement inside me,
Hard to find that joy.
it's hard to find the joy, because in my mind, everything is work, right? I don't have
But the problem, and here's what we will get to eventually. God's with you everywhere you go. And
100%.
And that's where our joy and our peace. We got to find that in Him. And as we spread our wings, as you are spreading your wings, it's a great thing. God didn't get you sober just to do podcasts and go to Monday night.
Right.
He got you sober to be a light in the world.
And I
go be that light, and you gain here, and you will get there.
I get the opportunity,
but it's nice to come home and get refueled like this,
right? And I get the opportunity to speak a lot to people because of this podcast, and because of obviously I advertise my AA all over my arm. I get the
sober
opportunity
out loud, as Brad would say.
I'm very sober out loud. I get the opportunity to speak to a lot of people, and I've had people stop me in airports and ask me. I've had people in restaurants ask me. I've been able to speak. I had a guy on the airplane just going last week. We were going into San Diego out of Fresno, and he was sitting next to me, and I was reading. I had my iPad open, and I was reading something, and it come across. When I turned the page, it said AA on the Alcoholics Anonymous over the top. And I actually had my headphones on and I was listening to music as I was reading, multitasking. And he looked at me like this and he started talking. And I'm like, this dude realized I got headphones in. So anyways, we started talking and he just got back from a mission. I said, well, I'm Alcoholics Anonymous. I did this. And we started talking about, different kinds of gods and this and that, But because I got that opportunity, that was my AA meet. That was my AA moment at that particular moment. Jason and I yesterday down there in the middle of the parking lot at Clovis East had a damn AA meeting right in the middle of the, when we get the opportunity, we reground ourselves, right? And we talk about it. And that's where my joy and my happiness comes. And, and I said this to somebody the other day, if it isn't work or AA, and this is kind of sad for me, I have a hard time having communication with somebody if it's not work or AA, right? So where's my balance? That's where I say I need to find my balance. That's where I need to find my balance. I need to be able to find that joy and happiness with my wife. Katie was listening to something the other day on TikTok or whatever she was listening to. And I said, and she started talking to me about it. And I said, well, yeah, I really don't care. And she goes, well, it's kind of unfair that you can't talk to me. And dude, that hit me hard. Ooh, that hit me hard. And that was the next day I was flying out to back down to Arizona, and I texted her. I said, hey, send me that person you were listening to. That was wrong of me. Right. Mm-hmm. But finding that balance so we can keep that peace, Nathan, like we talked about, knowing where we're at. And if we're not in those meetings, where are we finding our happiness? Where are we getting our joy from? Where's
that conscious contact with God coming from?
Right.
Well, yeah, that's, some people say progress, not perfection. Yep. Right
there.
But really it's spiritual progress, not spiritual perfection.
Thank you for that.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
The more that we grow closer to God, and the more that's where I get grounded and centered and balanced, is the closer I am with Him, the more that I seek His will, and the more that my will and His will align, the more joy I feel.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. That's
and how that happens how that happens per person.
Right.
It can be different. How we seek God and how we spiritually fit or spiritual.
Right. Right.
Would you say progress? Say
that again. Spiritual progress
rather than spiritual perfection.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I like that.
That's we claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual
that's how it's stated is.
But people
use progress, not perfection, as excuses for things,
right?
In which it's not meant for that.
That's funny. You're right. They do.
Yeah, they'll tell you how they just messed up.
Joke. Yeah,
this is how they just messed up. But it's progress, not perfection.
Right.
And then Nathan gives you the real quote.
Right.
He's a big book thumper, is what he is.
Well, that's something that I have gotten into the book more and more lately. Rob doing the Thursday night book study, and then the Monday, it's same deal. It's a book study as well, and so we're going at it double whammy. We went through it. What we went through just a couple months ago, we're going to be going through on Monday now.
And we'll hear new shit that we didn't hear the first time we went through it.
Right, because we're more spiritually mature. Right. Hopefully, at least I am, because I heard that, and I heard 4 or 5 times at that fucking men's retreat. There's the F word again. Whatever. when someone was sharing, and then there would be like a couple cross conversations, and someone would ask someone else, "Well, where was God in that? Where was God in that?" And the whole time I'm just grinding, and I don't realize till my brother's getting baptized. Rob, you left God on the corner of 32nd and Vine.
Why do you keep bringing up?
Because that's where it was. That's where I found him.
That's where. How do you know you found him right there, not in a Cracker Jack box?
It's in Stockton. That's where I found him. That's where I left him. That's where I told God, I've got. I know it's a joke.
He was right there.
It's a joke, but that's where you just drop him off, and he's not going to jump back in the car, and he's not going to say, "Hold on, Rob, don't do that. Take me with you. You're going to need." He says, "Okay, son. I've got this. Okay, son. Let me know how that goes. Call me if you need me." He ain't going to jump back in the car.
No.
And he lets you go.
Right.
Have yourself and through your own strength and your own little plans and designs. Go ahead, baby.
That's funny.
He never jumps, right?
That's
but
funny.
I heard it. I mean, times that I hear guys say, "Well, where was God in that?" Yeah, I got it. And another guy said, "Listen, he was, that he had spent so much time working and helping other men, and he forgot to work on himself."
Yeah.
Oh, Rob, right?
Right.
But you think you're one with God because you're just, look what I'm doing. Look at me. Look what I'm.
Right.
But you don't see it as that until, holy shit. How come you're not in the passenger seat? Oh, you told me to get out. Remember?
Right.
Or you told me I got this.
And that was pretty early on when you were telling me, when you and I first started working together, you were telling me all these people that you were working with. And I finally called you up out of the blue and said, who do you have that you could talk to about some of this shit? And you were like, "Don't worry, I have people." And that's next week.
You met you in the Monday night group.
That's the very next week is when I went into the Monday night group, and I was like, okay, I see. And that's when I got started with the men. And that's when I really started realizing how powerful that fellowship of, that Monday night group. And I tell this, I say it all the time. Our Monday night group is our Monday night group. Find your own, right? Find one, create one, because it is a powerful tool for this sobriety.
And having Nathan's vehicle been broke down a little bit.
Right.
I've been picking him up for meetings and stuff. And I didn't realize this, another thing, and I'm going to share this, I haven't shared it with him either. I've been getting a lot of my calmness, not overwhelming calmness, in the last couple of weeks when Bonnie's been gone, from him.
Okay.
Because he's grounded right now.
Right.
And I kind of got ungrounded, and I've been feeding off him.
Good. See, iron sharpening iron.
Oh yeah.
Metal sharpening metal. I mean, it's just, that's why I say these groups and being a part, and I hate being gone on Mondays, and I'm here this Monday, gone the next Monday, gone the next 2 Mondays, and then back. I hate that I'm gone because those Mondays are extremely important to me, and the Saturdays, right? They're extremely important for me to find my balance, to get my balance, to stay in that balance. And when I'm gone, it's like, what do I miss it. I miss it. But I also know that I could pick up the phone and call any of you guys and get right back to that balance that I need to be at. That's part of that group.
We just got to take that action.
Right. We have to take that action and be a part of that group. Nathan, any closing words?
No.
A man of many.
That's great though. I mean,
yeah, Nathan,
where he's at right now,
right,
is where there's no reason to ever not be here.
Right.
Do whatever it takes to stay here. Of course, I went on a 2-week hiatus, but being
when did you go on a 2-week hiatus?
What I mean is when Bonnie left,
right,
and those 2 weeks where I just grinding,
it
was
gotcha.
progressive. I didn't grind at first,
right,
as I started towards the end of the week, and she could hear it, because I told God, I've got this.
Right.
And I went and just picked up all the other stuff that I had to do.
Okay.
And I was just so busy doing all that other stuff, I never made him pray.
Right.
I let those things go.
Right.
Because I didn't have time.
Right.
But like when I called you the other day and you were in that position and I wasn't expecting you to be like, "Oh, I'm, not feeling good," or whatever. Right. And I remember saying, "But this makes you appreciate Bonnie a whole lot more now, doesn't it?" Not that you didn't appreciate her before, but it really helps your perspective on what she actually does do. And
you need to give her a raise
in all aspects.
Absolutely.
Right? And so,
and we're both getting that, but absolutely. And it's not that anything lacked, because I was kicking ass.
Right.
But at what cost?
Right.
The cost of my spiritual. I absolutely appreciate her. And it's a beautiful thing God has done.
Right.
and God will use his things that you go through to help you grow closer to him.
Absolutely. And I needed to. I really needed that to a regrounding, a
He'll
rehumbling.
hit you over the head every once in a while.
And I need it.
Right.
And I need it.
You know,
but it doesn't take, as I've grown, it used to be a 2x4.
Right.
Now it's just a,
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
ooh, sorry.
Right.
And it takes a man like Nathan,
Right.
who's, I mean, kicking ass to see, okay, I need that again. So
Right.
go back to,
Get back to your roots.
yeah, I need that. And I see, because you see a spiritually fit human being
Right.
doing the deal. Okay, I'm not, we gauge. Okay, I'm not there.
Right.
What do I need to get back there? Oh, take that 5 minutes in the morning like you
Right.
used to. Get on my knees, which I'm doing. I'm making a point. Get on my knees and talk to your father and ask him, invite him. Would you please get in the car with me as I go do this? Please. Yeah. Sure, I'll be there. Don't leave me on the corner again. But you can if you want. I'll stay there. But yeah. But I need you. I need the men in my life, and when they're because we're not all sick at the same time, and we're not all well at the same time.
Nope.
And right now, Nathan's on point, so I need that. That's why when he was on last year.
I'm not.
Well, you're more on point than I am, but he is.
Shut up.
He's shining.
Dude, I'm all over the place. I all over the place right now. Katie, me and Mary got into this the other night because her and I disagree on a very important thing. My wife is probably one of my biggest sponsors, who's never been an alcoholic, who's never went through the book, who's never done any of this work. But I still say she's one of my biggest sponsors because I can thoroughly 100% open up to her with this, no matter what it is, right? No matter what it is, which is what you're supposed to be to your sponsor. And Mary's like, you ain't supposed to talk to your wife about that kind of stuff. I'm like, bullshit. If I can't open up to my wife, what's the point of having that best friend and that partner living in my house?
Well, the problem, the relationship with Mary is different because her husband is in the program.
Right.
So there's that dynamic that you don't have with Katie.
No, like I said, my wife is probably my biggest sponsor, right?
And accountability. I call it, I'd say
she's
accountability
my accountability partner. Yeah. I mean,
and she knows you
she knows exactly when I'm going off the rails. She sees it, right? She sees it in my face, but more than anybody else, right? And she can hear it in my voice on the phone.
I didn't even think about that. Again, Bonnie is one of mine.
Yeah, and she's gone.
She's gone.
Right.
Because we talk about everything.
Right. Yeah, you're missing that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's because we talk every day on the phone.
Man, she's your partner. She's your.
We don't talk like we,
I'm gone from Katie. I'm gone from Katie for 2 or 3 days, but I'm in a bad spot. I got to get home.
I don't realize how much I vent.
It's not
to my wife.
Here's the thing for me: just seeing her calms me. Just seeing her calms me. Smelling her.
I haven't been sleeping as well.
Right. So I mean, I can't go. Yeah, if I'm home, if I'm away more than 2 or 3 days, listen to us talking about our wives and poor Nathan.
He'll get there.
He'll get there.
No, he's great, dude. He's great. He's great.
I have to find happiness and growth and strength in myself before I'm ever capable of providing for someone else.
You're 100% right. Right.
I told you he's on point.
I'm getting closer.
Yeah. God will literally open that door when you're ready. Right. And that I firmly believe that.
I think it's right around the corner myself.
I do too. And well, I think we hit something. I know we have. Right. I think we hit something there. And
I'm going to try to drive that nail in the board.
Right. I mean,
but God's timing is perfect and mine
God's
is not.
timing is amazing. And that's the thing. If we stop and get it the hell out of the way and let him drive, promise you, life is better.
He knows because he's right there. I'm getting back to that.
And when you find your life, when you feel yourself fighting, you better look, right? Normally when I see my life getting difficult and things aren't going, it's because I've grabbed a hold of that steering wheel, right? And I have to back off and go, here you go. Take it back. Because sorry, I took control for a minute. Take it back because I don't like the way I was doing it. Right.
Yeah, it's a
struggle.
Funny. One of the things that I pray for and in morning and night is the opportunities that God gave me.
Right.
Or gives me.
Right.
Because like you said, you still have to take the action.
Yep.
And so that I use, and like Rob always says, words matter.
100%.
And so, that's something I pray for is the opportunities.
Right. All right, Mr. Nathan. Robert.
Yes, sir. Nice one. Recovery Unfiltered Podcast, gmail.com. Say it.
Recovery Unfiltered
Podcast at gmail.com. If you have any questions,
why am I
comments,
forgetting to say that?
I don't know. People want to reach out to us, which they have.
Harbor Drive. That's my boy. I'm going to go have him this afternoon. Take a look at some of their music. You're starting to see it. He's starting to load a lot of it. Great friend of mine. They're
Good.
Fabulous music. Maybe not be the music you listen to because it's a little on the harder side, but he does a
Is
great
what
job.
like Metallica, AC/DC? Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's
He's
what you
hardcore.
got. Want to see my playlist?
No, I'm good.
That's all it is.
Yeah, it's
Well,
Harbor Drive. He's we're gonna start working on an intro for us, and
Good.
He's awesome. He helped me, like I said, he's the one that helped me get this podcast up and running in the very beginning. So when I asked him the other day, I said, "Would you be interested in doing an intro and and Harbor Drive, producing?" And he's like, "Absolutely, come down. Let's take a look at it." So
Right on.
I'm actually gonna go over there this afternoon and start working on something. So hopefully. We're going to record number 40 next time you and I are together. That's going to be the end of season 2. And we're going to start on to season 3 on episode 41, baby.
Damn.
You know where episode 52 is, right? Episode 52 is 1 year.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'll be down.
We'll be 12 episodes away from one
That's a
year.
God thing because
I mean, I don't mean to throw one out there yet, but we've been doing
no fronts.
No fronts, baby. No fronts. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Later.
Thank you for joining us today.
We hope you learned something today that will help you.
If you did not, come back next week and we'll try again.
If you like what we heard, give us a 5-star review. If you don't like what you heard, kiss my... You can't say that, can you? Anyway, if you don't like what you heard, go ahead and tell us that too. We'll see what we can improve. We probably won't change nothing, but do it anyway.
Hey, thanks, Rob. Come back next week and hopefully something will be different and something will sink in. Take
This
care.
has been Recovery Unfiltered.